This review is going to be over the MP-14 Alert, or also known as Red Alert. Now, if you're looking for the full transformation of this vehicle, I've already done it with Sideswipe, so I'm not going to do it again. It's the exact same transformation. But if you need to see it, I'll leave that link in the description, or maybe I'll just put an annotation on the screen for you. Now, this is also, just like Sideswipe, an officially licensed Lamborghini Countach product, and it's an absolutely beautiful car. You definitely want one of these two guys on your shelf. But if you can only have one, which one do you get? So I'm going to try to help you guys decide, if they're both still available, which one you should get over the other. Now, if you saw my review with Sideswipe, there were some things that really bothered me, and it was mostly just the paint, especially on this side over here, because as you can see, him being red, this is like 3 or 4 different shades of red, and it really bothered me. Now he's in robot mode, and that's what I usually keep him in. It's not really that big of a deal because it's all broken up with black limbs and white limbs and stuff like that. But one of the things that I wanted to show you with Red Alert, one, him being white, you really don't have that problem. It's all a nice white pearl or pearly white, whatever you'd like to call it. So he doesn't run into that problem. It looks beautiful as far as his paint job goes, as far as the white part. One of the things that I wish they would have added with Red Alert that they had Sideswipe here, this part right here was black, and that little black square where you would plug in his little gun there, it's black. So you really don't notice it. I guess you do, but it's all black is what I'm basically saying. Now with Red Alert, you're going to have the siren on them, or you could take this out and put the little gun in there. But let's say if you just wanted to have a little Countach race here and didn't want the siren or gun up there, you got this black square which is just totally out of place, and I wish they would have just painted that white. Now some of you guys might be saying, oh well, whenever you put this in there or the gun in there, it's going to end up scratching that. Well, if it does, you're just back to square one with a black square there, so not a big deal. But for people that take a little bit better care of their masterpiece figures or their transformers or figures in general, they're not going to have that problem. So that's something that I don't think it would have been too much of a big deal if they would have just painted that white. Again, that might be nitpicking, or it's not really a problem. It's just something that I would have preferred. Now, getting into the two problems that I have. And it's with the red paint apps here. What is it with car masterpiece figures and red paint? With these kind of fender flares, you can obviously tell that they're wanting to keep those white. Same with this up here. But on this section here, the red does not connect to the fender flare like it does on this side. So it just, red going there and it just kind of stops. So being a masterpiece figure, I expect better. But that's not really the biggest deal I have with this. And we'll cover it up there. But on this side, you can see that it's exactly the same on this door as well. Now, here's the biggest problem that I have with this figure. And I guess when he's in robot mode, it's not a big deal at all because you don't even notice it. But as you can see, fire department symbol right there. So you got this little shield with a little point here at the bottom and 3 little points, there at the top. Come here on this door, I can probably just push that up a little bit, but you can see that that lines up perfectly. Point at the bottom, 3 points up top, nicely done. Come around here to the side, and what is that? You wouldn't even be able to tell if you didn't have that and you just have this on the side of a car. You wouldn't even be able to tell that that's like the fire department symbol there. So this being a masterpiece figure, I think this is something that they should have done right. Now, this isn't to say that they're all like this, because this door is fine, the hood is fine, it's just this one. So you might get one and they're all absolutely, beautiful looking. You might get one and they all 3 look like crap. So hopefully that's not the case. But this is all I have to go on, is the figure that I actually own. So that's the thing that kind of bothered me a little bit. And this, especially being a masterpiece figure, I expect the best. Just like it's kind of like if Mona Lisa is a masterpiece painting. If kid just went with a crayon and scribbled a mustache on her, it's still a masterpiece, but is it really? So that's just my little thought on that. Now with the cannon here, you can go ahead and plug this on top of the little sirens there, or you can take the sirens off and just have the cannon just like you did Sideswipe. And same little gimmick here where you can fit the gun in the side and plug it in there. The other little thing that he came with is this little I don't even know what to call it, but whenever he goes crazy, there was an episode in G1 where everyone calls him Red, but it was the episode that really highlights his character the most. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and transform him to a robot, and we'll get a decent look at that. And we'll be done with this because I'm not going to change him back to car. I just want to make sure everything is focused in. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do is, same as Sideswipe, pull down on these wheels, because there is a little bit difference when you're using robot mode versus Sideswipe, and you will see that in a bit. Pull out these door sections here, and just leave them just like that. With the hood section, you want to make sure you push down on that before you lift that up. If you just pull this back, you're going to end up tearing those tabs, so it's the same thing that I said in the Sideswipe review. Pull this section around, just like so. You can go ahead and flip his head forward if you wanted to. Put his hands or arms in touchdown mode, and bring that around. Pull this section up, just like that, and just leave it there. Then with this, you're going to separate the spoiler, unpeg those feet. You can go ahead and separate it if you like. Bring them to about halfway. And coming around here, you're going to move this section and then pull this around until it won't go anymore and stays just like that. And then pull this down for the moment, because you're going to need to do something here a little bit later. And make sure you can get that around and go ahead and pull that down. Then you can fully extend these legs here. Now with this section here, you're going to pull out that little black piece there. And you can see that there's a, or maybe not, there's a tab there, and there's a little white hole right there. And under my thumb, you can see that there's a little tab there, and there's a little place where that little tab or notch is going to go. So go ahead and line all that up, push that into place, and make sure that comes above that. Then you can move this back, pull up the foot, pull up the heel spur, and close up that back spoiler part there. We're going to do the same with this one here. It's the exact same, so I'll just kind of do it without explaining. And get to it. There we go. Foot, heel spur, and move that. And I kind of move my feet inwards because they rotate just a little bit. That way, when I have them as a stance like this, then they're kind of flat on the ground. Then you're going to come down with this belt section here. And right here you have two joints. You have one here and then one in the back. So you're going to come one here and one there. You can come all the way with the back and then kind of accordion it up just like so. And make sure that's out. And then you have this red tab, and there's a hole or slot right up under this license plate, and that will connect just like so. There we go. Then with the arms, you can come down, rotate, and out. Same with this one. And you can open this section, flip out his hands. There you go. There's that hand. And with this section here, this will be a little bit easier. Going to make sure you untab, that way you don't break that. Come out with this and fold it like that. Do the same with this. Fold it like that. And I kind of bring them in at an angle because I like to fit them right up under these black sections right here, so it fits flush on his back. There we go. And there you have Red Alert. Now I'll show you his little articulation just in case you haven't seen one of these videos before. Rotates at the head, rotates here at the shoulder 360, at the bicep, bends at the elbow, rotates at the wrist. His hands, they're not individually articulated, but they're just kind of like a clamp. He does rotate at the waist, but because of this section right here, it's a little bit hindered, so he won't go 360, but there's really no reason why he would need to turn all the way around. With the legs, they move all about, so nice articulation there. And you can even, did it in the Sideswipe review, but he has incredible balance. There you go, so I'm not touching it. But incredible balance to where he can stand on one foot. Can rotate or at the thigh, bend at the knee. Like I said, he's got a little bit of foot movement there, but it's really not a whole lot to get overexcited about. But let's go ahead and put his weapons on real quick. I'm not really sure which one this goes in. I'm just going to put it in this one because I know that the picture shows it to go on this, but I like his gun and his cannon on opposite sides. So it's whatever your preference is, and this is what mine is. So you're going to put his gun in his hand the exact same way you did with Sideswipe. There's a little notch in there. And kind of get him a little posed, and we can put on this because he's going crazy. But there is Masterpiece Red Alert, and we'll kind of look at his feet as well. So you can see there's a little bit of like purplish looking paint there at his knees. I don't remember him having that. If he did, then maybe I need to go back and rewatch some of these cartoons. But nice paint detail all the way around again. Here at the feet. Just leave the siren on. And one of the things that is different about Sideswipe and Red Alert, before we finish, is they added these little fake wheels on the side to, I guess, more than just color and, you know, the fact that I use these, I leave these on them. But more than just color, that kind of breaks up the figures and doesn't make them look exactly the same. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Maybe you picked up some good tips. But my final thoughts, if you had to pick up one figure or the other, and it doesn't really matter which character you like more, it all has to do with which figure is better, I would probably say Red Alert, in my opinion. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you later.